All right, good morning. So, what is going on with this potential winter storm? So, right now we're getting our pieces of vorticity that will be associated with the storm getting together across much of, let's say, the central plains. We do have this Fort Max here, situated in central Kansas this morning. Draw that a little better. We're at there, and then we will have our northern stream of energy, which will act as a northern end to the how far extent the northern part of the system could go with this northern stream. It is going somewhere like this, and it is helping to provide that colder air to the surface this morning and tonight. So this is why we did see a trend to a much colder event over the last few days, because this did not look like a snow event earlier and even middle of last week. So as we play it forward, you can see how this closed off upper level low will continue to move further to the east. And the big problem we've seen in the last, let's say, even last 12 to 18 hours. So what looked once to be a pretty amplified cutoff low, if I want to compare it to the strength of it to, let's say, 3 runs ago, yesterday afternoon, so this is the latest European model run this morning, and comparing it to yesterday early afternoon, you can see how the main piece doesn't look as impressive, and it is looking to be a lot more further to the south. And as this moves through, this will provide now what appeared to be an I-80 or north event. The best dynamics will actually fall south along or south of I-80, and just if you were on the southern edge of the snowfall, now you're probably going to get the most, if not even more south. And that this was just the case overnight. We saw a weakening trend of this upper level low. It's possible that convection in the southeast could have robbed some of the most potential moisture and vorticity with the system, but otherwise the south trend cannot be denied. I mentioned last evening, and I think when I adjust my snow pump forecast in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I'm going to see a significant push to the south. Areas along and north of I-80 could get completely whiffed potentially. And anyway, moving forward, this will move with this overall progressive pattern. So this wave of energy basically just moves away out by tomorrow afternoon, and we'll get back into a colder pattern before we see another potential system that will come through Thursday evening into Friday night. So pretty active pattern. This will not be the only snow event we see this week, but it had its biggest potential, which I don't think is going to be really living up to its name anymore, just because we saw that significant south trend overnight. So if I want to zoom into the state of Pennsylvania, and we could play out how the future weather might look. So I will play it out. So let's go to the latest high-res guidance, and let's get a precipitation. I think this model really has the best key of how precipitation work out. So I'll just say whatever time it is, because you probably can't read in Zulu time. So we have precipitation begin to enter the state by 11 o'clock tonight. This will be coming in the form as rain, because we do still have a marginally warm air mass in place, but that will be changing because once the system gets going, we're going to see dynamic cooling. We're going to see the column of the atmosphere cool that will support the threat for heavy snow. But precipitation will get together. I'm not even in precipitation type, that's why. So still starting as rain, but by around 1 to 2 a.m., you can see how the northern end, we're going to see that evaporative cooling take in effect. We're going to see areas transition to a mix of rain and snow in these areas before quickly changing over to mostly snow for much of, let's say, the central portions, I guess. Basically south of I-80. I mean, just 18 hours ago, maybe 20 hours ago, it looked like this was going to be like the bullseye area. But now, it doesn't, those, most of this area might not even get a flake. So this is just how crazy of a southern shift we saw in the last, I'm going to say the last 6 to 10 hours especially. You can see how there's just a razor thin northern edge to this line. And even 48 hours ago, this line was all the way up here. So just a complete reversal of the trends in just the past 2 days, and even significantly so in the past 10 to 12 hours. So just significant. So this is the radar at 4 a.m., so 9Z. And as we play it forward, you can see extremely heavy snowfall rates, especially across these areas where there's like darker blue. These areas could potentially see maybe 2 inch, if not higher, snowfall rates per hour. You can even see that State College right now look to be in the bullseye in the map I showed right before bed. Now you guys are like, this is like the northern edge of the heavier snow. So this is, again, I guess not surprising to see with the latest trends, but pretty surprising to see just how the storm trended. So this is 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and by like 9, 10, 11, this system just scoots its way out of here. And yeah, just a quick moving system. This was supposed to be a quick moving system, but we did have better dynamics and play on guidance like just a day ago and 12 hours ago. Now dynamics are not looking as great, so just not as long as a period of snow as it looked to be before. And if we look at 1 hour rates, you can see how some widespread areas will see potentially rates of 1 to 2, maybe pockets of 3 inch an hour rates. Still wouldn't be surprised if we see that, but otherwise just a major shift to the south of what we once saw the system to be. And then you can see as we play out through the morning hours, once the system moves out, the snowfall rates begin to dwindle a little bit, and we just see the storm move out. So if we look at what this model has in particular, this is not my forecast. I will be updating my forecast once we get the new higher rest guidance in during the morning hours. So I just want to confirm that if we're seeing any other more southern shifts. But I think this zone will probably have now the best at potentially 8 to 12 inches. Sorry, I probably should draw that another color. So I think this will be probably the 8+ zone. The 6+ zone will probably be somewhere along here, give or take. And then, so this will be probably the 6+ zone. The 3+ zone will probably be somewhere along here. But otherwise, this is not as impressive as it looked even 12 hours ago. And it's just the way that what happened overnight with that vorticity maximum, the fact that we're seeing more convection in the southeast, which is now robbing some of that potential energy and potential moisture from the system. We just saw an overall trend to the south and just an overall weaker system. But still, it's still going to be pretty impactful in my opinion. You probably wouldn't be on the roads tomorrow morning in any of these zones because roads would be rather treacherous. But that's just right now. Could we see this nudge back north? Not what it once was, but I feel like we'll see southern trends continue for the time being. And one more thing before I wrap this up, if we go to the current alerts across the Commonwealth, we do have winter storm warnings in the pink areas, and winter storm watches are in the cyan blue. So let me actually pull up something else to pull up the alerts so we can get a better zoom in view. So yeah, so right now anyone in the pink is under a winter storm warning. This like darker blue color, those are still winter storm watches because there's still some disagreement, and the purples, those are winter weather advisories. I believe these winter storm warnings will be pushed further south, and we might even see just a complete cancel of some of these across the northern, just based on what's happened on model guidance and how the system's really reacting right now. And we could see an extension of the winter storm warnings further to the south and probably fill in more advisories. But otherwise, Yeah, this is not looking as impressive as it did 12 hours ago, which is very crazy to me, but still very impactful. Just stay tuned to latest updates. I will have more updates throughout the day. Southern trend continues. Usually most storms do push back north like very last minute, but we're now within almost 12 to 18 hours of the storm beginning, and we're still not seeing signs of that. So it is possible that this storm could just not do that, and that is very possible. So just a lot to keep an eye on. Just massive shifts. Be wary of changes in the forecasts, and I will have a snowfall map out within the next hour. Just because I just got up and I want to wait for the new HER model will be coming out in the next 30 minutes. So I just want to get that in range just to see if we will see maybe another push north or even another significant push south before I make an update to that. So thank you for watching this morning. Again, please be aware of the snow coming in later tonight to tomorrow morning. If you have any travel plans tomorrow morning, make sure you are on alert and maybe avoid travel until the afternoon tomorrow. Just because of, again, very heavy snowfall rates will likely occur between like 4 to 8 a.m. tomorrow before quickly tapering off. Anyway, yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and thank you for joining me this morning. And yep, stay tuned for updates.